Good morning, Rabbi Sai. In honor of Rabbi Eli and the whole team for putting together this amazing shir every day, in honor of the return to Beis Medrash, in honor of Yakov Shalom ben Yehonoson, who introduced me to the shir, in honor of my father Yakov ben Harav Zundel, who I introduced to the shir. And Baruch Hashem is enjoying it daily, and in honor of this guy that's honoring all the honorees, Gevaldig, Yeshukoyach, Shushi and Joël Mizrahi, in memory of Maurice Mizrahi, Nishmat Moshe ben Alice Leah. Moshe ben Alice Leah. I got it right this time, I hope. 2 times. Yeshkoyach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'akol niyeh b'dvaroi. Sponsored by Mark Aschkenasy, Mordechai Aschkenasy, the Zchus, Mishpachas, Yossi, Klein, and the MDY Stress Relief Pill. Askin, a true oheiv Yisroel, and a constant inspiration to us all. Keep smiling and swiping too. Email. Rav Eli, I live in Atlanta and do my daf myself in English from... I didn't read this one, right? If I did, I'm reading it again. I do the daf myself in English from the art scroll each morning at 6 a.m. Every word of English translation and commentary. I remember talking about this. No? Every word of English translation and commentary. I'm just curious how long that takes. It must be a few hours, no? To read all the art scroll. What is that, like 6 to 8 pages every daf? You do it also, every word? How long does it take, Rabbi Schoenberg? I know, Berech. Between an hour and 2 hours. That's unbelievable. Besides the daf. Well, yeah, with the daf. Thank Hashem for art scroll. Then throughout the day I review it with your full daf. If I get through yours, I do real clear daf with Rabbi Weiss. His wife is a client of mine. My son Noach, wife Kayla, and my 4 beautiful grandchildren moved to Aleph nearly 2 years ago. This year we moved from Lachish to Zavitan. That's where I lived when I moved to Eretz Yisrael. It's right here. Who's this? You live on Zavitan. This is Levin. Hold on. My son Noach. Yeah, Noach Levin. Anybody know Noach Levin? You don't know? He lives in Zavitan. There's only like 10 houses in Zavitan. If you want to know how to get to Zavitan, you go to the MDY building, and then there's like a tunnel that goes on the ground, and you go there. I plan to drop in on the daf as soon as we get to past this COVID thing, and we get to Israel, be vaccinated, are safe. Then the march, we follow my kids from Rochester, New York to Atlanta. We'll soon follow into Harav and Shemesh. Be'ez Hashem, amen. 3 things. What Israeli time do you start? At 7:15. What is the range of sponsorship? From 0 to $100 million. Why? Because we had $100 million, we would have a staff of the greatest graphic artists full-time. We'd be producing the greatest charts and videos, and we'd be doing unbelievable stuff. And we'd have a... I'll
take care of that for $1 billion. Greatest graphic artists.
We need a team of them. I realize that it's likely not a schedule, just want a sense. Finally, just thank you. I think what he's talking about, I think the typical sponsorship is $100, goes to $180, $250, that kind of thing, but it's nothing. Or Parnas Chodesh is $1,000, I think. I don't know, you have to speak to Yossi Biliad. If we have more money, we could get Yeshua back. If we had more money, we could give more money to the Koil guys on Purim night. I'm giving them a nice matana. we have one Koil guy here from our Koil, Reb Levi. Rabbi Sai, we are holding Daf Tzadik Gimel today. And we're holding all the way on the bottom of the Tzadik Beis. And we had a machloikis. If a person is far away from the Beis HaMikdash, what exactly is far away from the Beis HaMikdash we're going to see today. And he wasn't able to get to the Beis HaMikdash. Reb Nachum, was hetzach, shalom uvrocha. Why? I just heard about you the other day. You printed out the Ora Merkaz, and you're showing it off to people. Baruch Hashem, listen. It's one of those things that Noam Fix has never seen. That's why I'm very nispo when I speak to you. I ask, no, do you know Ora Merkaz? No, what's Ora Merkaz? What's 8-minute daf? I have no idea. I just do the daf, just the daf. Fine. Yesh v'yesh. What? Not on Motzei Shabbos. I'm sitting on a table here with a bunch of people that don't come on Motzei Shabbos. It's so annoying. Daf is 6 days out of 7. Occasionally I have to hear them, and they have no clue. They have no clue, especially what my charts look like. So, we had a machlokes. What if a guy was far away from the Beis Hamikdash, and he can't get there, and he sends a shliach, calls up? Remember, we discussed remote parenting, remote Pesach. So we have Rav Nachman says it's a great carbon. Hold on, here he goes again. And Rav Sheshes says, let's just ignore it. Me and Gary, he says I don't hear him, and I hear him every day. It's just a thing, whatever. And then he repeats it every day, the same thing. And Rav Sheshes says, Loy Hurtzuk, we got to go because it's 7:20. Now I can start the shiur. Okay, now the shiur starts. Rav Sheshes says he's not yoy to the carbon. Great. Omer Rav Sheshes, 2 lines from the bottom. How do I know that if somebody else shechted a carbon for you, you're not yoy at all? The sign you're Kiva Omer Nemar Tomei V'Nemar B'derech Rechoika. In the same pasuk it says the 2 reasons why we have to do a Pesach Sheni is because you were far away, you were Tomei. Ma Tomei Shesipik B'Yod Elasis V'Eni Yoisa. He could do the carbon, but you can't. He has the ability, he doesn't want to. Rabbi Akiva holds that what happens is if a person is able to bring the carbon, tonight he's going to be available. He's a Tamei Sheretz. He has to wait to the night. Rabbi Akiva says, I cannot shecht for him. So that's what this whole tummy is talking about. At the end of the day, since he's going to be available tonight, so if he's available, he's available. So if this guy sends a shliach, then it's okay. If a guy is he's able to eat the carbon tonight, I could shecht for him. So it's just the shaila whether or not, what's the halacha by Tmei Sheretz? You're going with the halacha that's Tmei Sheretz, since you're not available tonight, you hold that even if you're available tonight, but right now you're not available, so you can't send the shliach. So too, that's why you hold that you can't send the shliach. But I'm a chulag on you. Torah Rabbanan. Eilu shoysen es hasheni. Now we're going to go through the easy list. We had most of it. These are the people that bring a carbon Pesach on Pesach Sheni. Hazavin v'azavais. Just to repeat, so we have this good and clear. There's certain people that don't know what a zav is. Zav, he saw 1 re'iyah on one day, obviously, in one time. 1 re'iyah, he's like a Balkari. He's toivel, and he's tar at night. 2 re'iyahs, even in one day, he must wait 7 days of tahara. He's tar for 7 days. Then he could bring a carbon. Then he could bring the carbon Pesach. If he sees 3 re'iyos, he's a zav, a major zav, and he has to bring a carbon. Where he says 2 re'iyos, he doesn't bring a carbon. This lamb over here, the shepsel, is a carbon Pesach. Don't confuse it with the carbon. 3 re'iyos, he has to bring a carbon, and then on the 8th day, he can bring a carbon Pesach. That's a zav. Zava, stand for chazar, why not? We're already in Pesachim, we're not going to be discussing it for a while, I hope. So zava, shemeres yom keneged yom. If she sees 1 re'iyah on one day, she has to keep 1 complete day of tahara. She can't see it. If she sees 2 days in a row, not 2 re'iyos in one day, 2 consecutive days, she has to keep 1 day of tahara. Shemeres yom, 1 day. If she sees 3 re'iyos in a row, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, she becomes a zava g'dayla, and that requires a 7-day of no re'iyos. Now, by the way, I have the chart. I might as well show it because yesterday I did. When it comes to, we said a zav, it's not a carry. It's a different type of emission from a disease. Nida is different. Nida is dam. Just what? If she sees the dam in her 7-day period of dam, then she's a nida. But as soon as this nidus is over, a 11-day period starts. And when she sees dam in those days, then she becomes a zava. She's not a nida. But it's the same dam. It's the same material, so to speak. Where zav is different than a carry. Okay. That's a zav and a zava. Why am I going into it? Stam, so we have a good chazar here. It's not the sugya at all. But if a person is a zav and a zava, if you go to a regular Daf Yomi shir, zav, all 3 lines in 10 seconds, maybe. But it's good to chazr the stuff. Va'azava voice, women. So we're talking about a man and a woman. And a woman. They bring a carbon Pesach when on Pesach Sheni. If their days fall out, not the end like we had in this case over here, that he got lucky and he just became tar right before Pesach. No, Pesach came out over here, smack in the middle, so he has to bring a carbon Pesach on Pesach Sheni. Hamitzaroin, a guy that has tzaras. Hamitzaras, and a woman has tzaras, she has some sort of affliction on her skin. V'nidois, and a nida. Uboyale nidois, and somebody had a relationship with a nida. And this is important to understand that a person who has a relationship with a nida, it's unfortunate, matzui, sort of, because a pnuya, an unmarried woman, is b'derech klal nida, so that person is chayiv kares. Chayiv kares, it's not a joke. And he becomes tummy like a nida. He becomes a shtik nida, basically, that what he touches becomes tummy if it's food. There's a little slight difference between him and a nida. The nida touches a kli, also becomes tummy. But he becomes a nida that he's tummy for 7 days. But the important thing to remember is kares, and everything has tshuva. Every single avera has tshuva. Vayir ledes, vayoldos. And women who give birth, depending if they give birth to a boy or girl, if it's a boy, they're tummy for 7 days. They go to the mikveh then. If it's a girl, they're tummy for 14 days. Hashoigigin, vohanusim, bamizidim. If a person had some sort of mistake, he forgot what day it is, and he doesn't remember that it's Pesach, vohanusim, or he's literally held down, he is oinus, vamizidim. And somebody that's shtik rasha, he doesn't want to bring the carbon Pesach on purpose. He could bring the carbon Pesach on Pesach Sheni. Now, it's not a question that we're going to deal with today. This guy that's amazing, he didn't bring a carbon Pesach on Pesach Rishon, and he brings it on Pesach Sheni. Does he get kares? He brought it on Pesach Sheni. What do you guys think? Where's Hillel? Hillel. Beautiful. You heard what Hillel said. Machloikes. And he's right. Hillel, Daf Tzadik Gimel Amud Aleph, by the way. I saw him playing on his phone. I had to say it. Come on, man. No, there's no. You have your Gemara on your phone. I know. He does. It's true. He does. He has this thing over there. So this is the pasuk. These are the 2 cases in the pasuk. All these cases are not in the pasuk. The 2 cases in the pasuk are a person who's tamei who couldn't bring his carbon pesach, and a person who was far away and couldn't bring his carbon pesach. It says all shaygigim, even a mazid, a shaygig. So say shaygig. Why does the Torah go into a case of tamei? Says the Gemara, you're asking me a question, I'll ask you back a question. It's a tremendous chiddush. The Torah is telling you that even if he wanted to, he cannot bring it. So talk about other types of oinus, whatever. Why dafka a case that a guy was far away? Says the Gemara, to tell me that he's potter from kares ukimanda omar hurza. We just had a machloikis. We just discussed Rav Nachman and Rav Shesers. According to Rav Nachman, if you send a shliach, your yaitza, you carbon pesach, you don't have to bring another carbon pesach on Pesach Sheni. So according to Rav Nachman, that I could bring another carbon. However, you should know that if he doesn't bring it, he's not chayiv kares. According to Rav Sheshes, what's the halacha? So according to Rav Sheshes, the pasuk is coming to tell me that he cannot bring it. Even if he wants to, he can't bring it. Rav Sheshes says, loy hurtza, if I send a shliach, it doesn't work. How does he know that? From this pasuk. This pasuk tells us 2 things. Or it tells us 1 thing according to each man da'amah. However, if you look at the words here, it says, zavim v'zavos, mitzarayim u'mtzarais. So we're talking about women. Women bring the carbon on Pesach Sheni. Ask the Gemara, isha b'sheni mi mechayva. A woman brings a carbon Pesach on a Pesach Sheni. This was the sugya when on Matzah Shabbos. Right here in this base Medrash. I would think the only person that brings a carbon on Pesach Sheni is somebody who's tamei, to a corpse, or somebody who's far away. Men that are zav, mitzayra. How do you know? There's no women mentioned here. Only men. Ish, a zav, a mitzayra. Doesn't talk about a zava, a mitzaras. Like Kashya, Hareb Yossi, Hareb Yehuda, Rebbe Shimon. Now, if we didn't have Shalom Aleichem, I saw it yesterday also. Now, if we didn't have a chart, this beautiful chart from Motzei Shabbos, look, you guys, you could look. It's beautiful. Look, it's all colorful. But seriously, Gary, I'm not joking. I wanted to text you. I need a printer ASAP. Do me a favor, whatever. In the middle of printing today, it went out again. So I went to sink. I watched it again with hot water, the whole thing. And I was able to get one more chart out, and then it died again. Dead. Now, forget it. It says, if a woman is chayiv in Korban Pesach, first Pesach, second Pesach. Very, very simple chart. According to Rabbi Yehuda, a woman is chayiv. Green, she's chayiv. According to Rabbi Yossi, chayiv in Pesach Rishon. According to Rabbi Shimon, it's a rishos, yellow. If she wants to, she could. What about Pesach Sheni? Pesach Sheni, according to Rabbi Yehuda, if she wants to, she could. According to Rabbi Yossi, she's chayiv. You see, chayiv. You're always chayiv 100%. And according to Rabbi Shimon, it's also for her even to be part of the group. She's not in the parish. She can't even be part of the group. X. Over rishos. So now let's go back to the Gemara. Like Askin, Rabbi Yossi. Who's the one on this chart that says that on Pesach Sheni you're mamish chayiv in a carbon? A woman is chayiv. If she's all by herself, you shecht her a carbon just for herself? Rabbi Yossi. Who says that she's not chayiv? Rabbi Yehuda, who says rishus, yellow, or Rabbi Shimon, who says it's also for her. So the Brisa that says she's not involved, the one we just read, it just mentions men, because she's not chayiv. At most, according to Rabbi Yehuda, she's a rishus if she wants to. So that's why she's not mentioned there. But what we discussed before, that goes according to Rabbi Yossi, that she's chayiv on Pesach Sheni, just like she's chayiv on Pesach Rishon. Torah Rabbanon. Chayiv kares ala Rishon, v'chayiv kares ala Sheni. Divri Rebbe. Oh, so now that you saw that chart, I stole that chart and I made a new one. The only thing was that I didn't know how to do well this Reb Chanina, and I'm happy with the way it came out. That what? Here it is. It's different. We're talking about a completely different thing. Same chart, same color, same everything. I like it. It's geschmack. According to Rebbe, you're chayiv kares if you don't bring your carbon Pesach on Pesach Rishon. So let's say you were shoyging on Pesach Rishon and you purposely didn't bring it on Pesach Sheni, you're chayiv kares. You can be chayiv 2 kareses here. It's impossible to be chayiv 2 kares. One person can be chayiv 1 death penalty, that's it. So let's say he was a shaygig in the beginning and he was amazed at then. Or let's say he was reborn, he was a ger. He just became a ger in between Rishon and Sheni, and he refuses to bring a carbon Pesach on Pesach Sheni. He's chayiv kares on the Sheni. He's chayiv kares on the first, of course. According to all of them, you're chayiv kares for Pesach Rishon. Now, no, of course not. If he wasn't a Jew, he wasn't alive yet. He's not in the parasha. Yeah. Yehonoson says, you're chayiv only on the first one. You're not chayiv kares if you don't bring on the second one. You're amazed, you didn't bring, you're not chayiv. Comes Hananya and he says, beautiful. How do you understand this? If I didn't tell you what it meant? What does this mean right over here?
You're chayiv if you refuse both of them.
Oh! Reb Shimon says, beautiful. So, okay, at least one person got it. How many people we have here? No, I was very happy. I didn't want to do a plus sign. I'm very against plus signs. I grew up in Bnei Brak. It looks like a Salem to me. So, but the Israelis, for some reason, I don't know if it's a frumkeit, but this is a plus sign. This is a normal plus sign in Israel. Did you know that? Plus minus. It's plus minus. So this works beautifully for me. The Stipe used to go crazy on plus signs also. He made them take down the telephone poles. They said, oh, Zach, it looks like a Salem. Everything looked like a Salem. Meanwhile, I'm walking around in the airport with the Swiss, thing. Fine. That's not a Salem. That's whatever. On the chart, it's a Salem. Anyway, so he says, if you're amazed on the first one, plus you're amazed on the second one, then you're chayiv kares. It has to be a combination of the two. Eat one or the other, you never chayiv kares. So if you're shaking on the first one, maze it on the second one, or maze it on the first one, shaking on the second one, you do not get kares. It's a combination of the two. Inside, you get a donut. Nothing. You don't get kares. I don't know what you get. It's not a good thing. You don't get kares is very bad. It's death. You don't get death. You get something else. You get einish. You get you get up to Shemaim, they give you, they put you on the grill for a few minutes, and they flip you over. I don't know what they do. They have things. They have a lot of stuff they can do. They do kafakela, they take you neshama, and they throw it from one side of the world to the other. This stuff, trust me. Chibur hakever, I don't know what. I wasn't there, I don't know. Says the Gemara like this. Chayiv kares al rishoin, v'chayiv kares al sheni. Divrei Rebbe, you're chayiv for both. The first Pesach and the second Pesach. In other words, Rebbe holds it's another yontif called Pesach Sheni. If you didn't exist on the Pesach Rishon, you still chayiv a kares for Pesach Sheni. You were ger or you had a shogi on the first one. Reb Noson holds it's tashlumim. Tashlumim. That what? It's a makeup. Very good. Reb Noson oimer chayiv kares al rishon u poter al sheni. If you want, you make it up. However, you're not chayiv just for it. It's not its own yontif. So he says, what? He says, no. He says takana. So let me explain to you. I'll explain quickly. Takana means I could fix the first one. Tashluma means I make it up. It's very interesting. You missed the first Pesach, according to Reb Noson. You did it on purpose. You didn't bring a Korban Pesach, you're done. Kares. You can go do tshuva, daven, and try to do tshuva, everything's good. Kares. HaKadosh Baruch Hu might be meichel you, but you get kares. There's no way to undo it with Pesach Sheni. You could do Pesach Sheni, get a mitzvah for Pesach Sheni. You could eat Pesach Sheni, says Reb Noson. But it has no connection to Pesach Rishon. You're not undoing the wrong you did on Pesach Rishon. Reb Chananya says you are undoing the wrong of Pesach Rishon. So if you didn't bring a Korban Pesach on Pesach Rishon, you're not chayiv kares yet. You could undo it. It's a takana. I'm misaking the wrong that I did in Pesach Rishon by bringing a Pesach Sheni.
Like HaKadosh Baruch Hu is waiting. Like Hashem is waiting to see.
Yeah, no, but Rashi says on the other one,
Hashem is waiting to see what's going to happen.
You're waiting to see, yeah.
Then he's going to decide he's going to punish you or not.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, what if you die before? Okay, fine. You don't get it. Vazal Tamay Desanyo. Gershon is Ger ben Shnei Pesachim. We had this in yesterday's Tosfos. You have a ger who became a ger between Pesach Rishon and Pesach Sheni. V'chein katan sheigdol ben Shnei Pesachim. The katan's bar mitzvah was in between the two Pesachs. Chayav lasois Pesach Sheni divrei Rebbe. Rebbe is of the opinion that Pesach Sheni is a regal b'fnei atzmi, it's its own yontif, so he has to bring a carbon. The fact that he wasn't around and he wasn't available in the Pesach Rishon has nothing to do with anything. Reb Noson goes to the Rishon zokuk l'sheni, kol she'ein zokuk l'rishon, ein zokuk l'sheni. Fine. If I was there at the first one, I can make up the second one. It's a make-up to the first one. And if I'm not there in the first one, if I'm not available, I'm a katan, I'm a ger, I cannot make it up in the second one. But my komifligi, Rebbe sovar sheni regel b'fnei atzmoi. It's Rashi. It's Gemara. Rebbe says that it's its own yontif. Rebbe Noson sovar sheni tashlumim de rishonu. The second one is tashlumin. It's to make up. But make up, don't forget, you can make up, but you cannot be forgiven. The kares is still there. You cannot fix the wrong that you did. You want to be Mekayim Mitzvah, great. You should just know that Nebuch, there's going to be kares here, whatever kares means. Dying young, the children die young, it's a problem. That's why you have to do tshuva. Sheni takanto the rishonu. You're fixing the first one. And all three of them learn one pasuk. Check this out. Baruch Hashem, the printer worked for one last time. I'm not kidding. I was able to get it to work. The ink might not be strong, because it is a long pasuk. He wasn't tar or he was far away. He didn't do Pesach. V'nichris saw, it says. Kares. Hanefesh ha'imamel. Here comes a three-way machlokes. Ki. We know that ki can be translated in different ways, 4 different ways. What does ki mean? And then it starts talking about something else. Ki karben Hashem lo yikriv b'moyadoi. Chet ha'isa yishau. So chet ha'isa, we're going to discuss what's the chet. Is the chet kares? What do you get? Yisa. He gets punished. What? Ki. Rebbe says it means im. Ki im. In other words, if this is something new, that's why it's on a new page. Here's one chorus, here's another chorus. This is Pesach Rishon, Pesach Sheni. It's a new thing. If. Yehonoson says because they're connected. This is a tashlumim for this. And Reb Chananya says also im, but he learns it differently. It's if, but if I do this and this, then they're connected. It's a if, but I need to do both ifs. Rebbe learns this is by itself and this is by itself. It's regular b'fnei atzma. If I don't bring a carbon on the second Pesach, Yehonoson says this is not second Pesach. This is the first Pesach. This is because this is a continuation of this. This is first Pesach. This is first Pesach. Rebbe says this is first Pesach. This is second Pesach. Reb Chananya also says this is first Pesach, second Pesach. But Reb Chananya says they're connected. It's a plus sign. Check, plus. If I do this, I don't bring a carbon here, and I don't bring a carbon here, then I get karas. Okay, let's see inside. Or he didn't do it in the second one. Basheni. The second part of the pasuk is talking about carbon Pesach Sheni. Now we're just going to go off before we explain the other ones. So at the end of the pasuk it says, over here it says v'nichrasa, right? But this is Pesach Rishon. So how do you know that down here Chet Yisa is also nichrasa? What's the connection? Pesach Rishon is very strong. Well, Seder, you eat matzah, mara, you don't bring the carbon Pesach, you get cars. Over here it's like a second Pesach. Who says you get cars over here? The Gemara actually has to learn Xer Shabbat to say it, and not from Pesach, not from the beginning of the pasuk, somewhere else completely. Returning to the Daf Yomi Beis, sponsored by Kesher Nafshi.org. Zchus for the struggling kids in pain of Cholei Yisrael. Refuah Shelayma of Cholei Yisrael. Oheiv, especially MDY Tehillim. Please consider joining the Tehillim group at tehillim.8mindaf.com. Kesovar megadev hainu mevorach Hashem. So this is what it looks like when the printer dies. Not kidding. Gary. Gershon. Oh, okay. I don't know if anybody else is. Oh, it's not bad. I'm reading it on the screen across the room. Givaldik. Migadev. What does this word mean? Migadev. You could learn it that somebody benched HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'lashon Akiyah, he cursed. Or you could say that he did Avodah Zarah. But it says, a Megadev b'nichrasa. I should have made this red. This is very important. B'nichrasa. Megadev is b'nichrasa. Now we go to the next pasuk. Somewhere else completely. This was Bamidbar Perek Tetzvav Pasuk Lamed. This is Vayikra Perek Chavdal. Different chumash completely. Ish ki kalel lekov. V'nasal chetoi. What does he get? Now, if Megadef equals Ikalel, so over here it says Over here it says V'nichrasa. So this is V'nichrasa. Yikalel equals Megadef. And now we know Yikalel gets Kares. Yikalel gets Kares. I know that because Megadef means Yikalel. But what if Megadef means Avodah Zarah? So Avodah Zarah gets Kares. What does this guy get? I don't know. Says the Gemara, Kosover Megadef Hainu Mevarach Hashem. So he says that they're equal. It's Mevarach Hashem, and it says by Megadef V'nichrasa. But it says by Mikal, I need to use both. Because over here it says V'nichrasa, over here it says V'nosav Chetoi. And guess what? In this pasuk it says V'nosav Chetoi. So now I know, it says Chetoi Yisa, same thing. And now I know Chetoi Yisa means equals Kares. Because over here it says V'nosav Chetoi. And this equals this, and this is Kares. That's because they're connected. The next man I'm going to say that these two are not connected. One is, it's talking about Avodah Zarah. And Mamela, I don't have that Gzera Shava that way. I have it a different way. It says by Pesach Sheni Chetoi. What does it say here? Chetoi Yisa. We learned that one. Mechetoi Dahasam from Migadef. Ma'alal and Kares, just like by Mikalel, or let's call it Mevarach Hashem. It's unbelievable. The Gemara is careful with the Lashon. Mevarach is Hashem. He gives a blessing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ma'alal and Kares, just like he gets Kares for blessing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Afkana Mikares, so too by Pesach Sheni. Yehonoson Savar v'choda latzis haPesach v'nichurso dahaiki lashon dahahu. So going back here, this word ki, Yehonoson says it's because. In other words, they're connected. It's not 1 and 2. It's not Pesach Rishon, Pesach Sheni. It's Pesach Rishon. Because when b'mayadoi b'rishon, since he didn't do it, he didn't bring his carbon Pesach on the first Pesach. So therefore, he gets karas. This is one long pasuk. And what does it say in the beginning of the pasuk? V'nichrasa. V'nichrasa. So then what do I need this for? Chet Yisa is completely extra. This is all Pesach Rishon. It already tells me what he gets. He gets karas. So what's Chet Yisa? Oh, Chet Yisa is going to teach me what does the Mekal Hashem get. Because Mekal Hashem is not Megadef. Megadef gets karas. Megadef is Avodah Zarah. What about a guy that stands and says, whatever, he cursed HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Chas v'Shalom? What does he get? He gets karas because I learned the reverse. I have extra words in Chet Yisa, and by Mekal Hashem, it says, V'noso chetoi. So Mamela, this guy, Mekal Hashem, gets karas. Hi Chet Yisa me'avlim. Kosovar Megadav Levanu Mevarchas Hashem, they're not connected. V'gomers Hai Chetoi Dahasam, Hai Chetoi Dahacha. Ma'alcha karas, Afhazim karas. Just like by Pesach Rishon, you get karas. So too, by Mekal Hashem, you get karas. V'Rabbi Chananyo ben Akav Yosovar. So he learns, just like Rebbe, that the word ki means im, or if. However, he says, if you do don't do Pesach Sheni, and you don't do Pesach Rishon, then you're chayiv karas. It's if, but in a different way than Rebbe. Not in the Rishon, Basheni. Okay. So maybe if I don't do this and I don't do it here, I get kares. He learns exactly what Rabbi Nachman that comes to teach us kares by Mekalel Hashem. Says the Gemara, very simple. Therefore, if we go back to this guy right over here, Hizid Bozeh Bozeh. If a person did not bring a korban Pesach on both the first Pesach and the second Pesach, what's the halacha? According to everybody, he didn't do it in the first one, so you get kares. According to everybody, there's no tricks. Just because he didn't do it on the second one, you can't get 2 kares anyways. He gets kares. No matter what, he gets kares because he missed the first one. He did it on purpose. He didn't do it. He gets kares. What? Right. Bozeh Bozeh. Correct. Thank you. The reason why it says no, he's right. It says Bozeh Bozeh. He didn't do it on both. So he didn't do on both. Everyone agrees that he gets kares because, first of all, these two agree that just the first one get kares. And Chananya says you have to do both, and he didn't do both on purpose. What if he, by mistake, didn't bring a korban Pesach on Pesach Rishon, Pesach Sheni? They're called Potter. Then, of course, he's Potter. But what if, now look at the chart. On purpose, he didn't do the first one. Yechayev? Yes, according to Yehonoson, Yechayev. He didn't do on purpose the first one, Rebbe. Yechayev? Yes, because Rebbe says, even if you, forget about the Sheni, you do it by yourself, you don't bring it on Rishon, even on the Sheni, you don't do it by yourself. If you're showing in the Rishon, and you didn't do it on the Sheni, you also Chayev Karas. So these two hold, Rebbe and Yehonoson hold, that if you don't do korban Pesach on the first Pesach, you Chayev Karas. So Heiz B'Rishon, V'Shogeg B'Sheni, L'Rebbe L'Yehonoson Mechayev. L'Rebbe Chananya Potter. Rebbe Chananya says you need both, and he only did one. B'Meizit. Potter. What if he was a shoyging in the first one? Shalom Aleichem, how are you? I missed you. Yeah, you. I don't know if I said Mazel Tov on your son. Did I say Mazel Tov? Mazel Tov. I did, okay. Mazel Tov. Anyway, So he was shayging on the first. So now, only according to Rebbe, the second one is a regel b'fnei atzma, and because I was mazed on the second one, even though I was shayging on the first one, I'm chayiv kares because I was mazed on the second one. So, shaga berishon v'hezi b'sheni l'Rebbe chayiv, only according to Rebbe chayiv. Yehonoson v'chananya b'nakavya pater. Very good. Zok the Mishnah. Ezi derech chayka. Oh. I think did I skip it by the beginning of the parak? It's your job. Really? Is the Yeshua on Zoom? Shalom Aleichem Yeshua if you see us. Oh. Not the real plane. Like. That's fine. No, I thought he's in the air. Somebody's watching Zoom on a plane when it's on the ground doesn't count. We're going for the next thing. Yeah, I did also. The official Mishnah sponsored by Official from Official Catering in Baltimore. Don't be shy. You could also sponsor your own Mishnayos, and we'll kick Official out. It'll still be called the official Mishnah, though. Zok the Mishnah. Ezi derech chayka. We said if a person's far away and he can't bring a carbon, so he brings it on Pesach Sheni. Min Amudin v'lachutz. From Modi'in. There's people who live in Modi'in. I have no idea if it's the same place. Probably not. Min Amudin v'lachutz. We're going to see soon. With the nun, but the Mishnah, always they change. They. Now, okay, whatever the measurement, whatever the distance from Yerushalayim, from the Beis Hamikdash to Modi'im, that's, you go to all directions. Unbelievable. One step away. You're not in the Beis Hamikdash, one step away, that's it. You have to bring it, you could bring it on the Pesach Sheni. In the Torah it says the word rechoika. Here, we had it. So if you look in the Sefer Torah, there's a little dot here. And that means, Rashi says, that comes to be mimai, that comes to say, get rid of this word. Doesn't mean like, wow, it's far away in a different country. No. In other words, get rid of this word rechoika. It's rechoika / not rechoika. That's why there's a dot on top of the rechoika that don't treat this word literally. Rechoika, the Torah is telling you. It's rechoika meaning think about it, you're spiritually far. One step out of the Beis Hamikdash, you're a Gahaner. You could be over here and be a Kaddish, and over here you're not. Chayev Pater. Omer Ula. Min Amudin Yerushalayim Chamisha Asor Milim Havia. I didn't check it out. I should have gone on Waze. From Modi'in to Yerushalayim is 15 mil. That is I did a quick Panovich math. Came out to 11.5 miles. I don't know how far away is Modi'in from Yerushalayim today. How long? It's about that? 30 kilometers. So 20 miles. So I don't think it fits. Because 1 mil is 2,000 amas. 2,000 amas is 4,000 feet, approximately. A mile is like 5.2 or something. So I don't know, I don't even know if I know how to do the cheshbon. 5.2, this, 4, it's got 11.5 miles. That's what I came up. You guys have different cheshbon? Real Modi'in. Maybe that's.
More.
It's probably more. No, okay, fine. Definitely more. Oh, it's not. He's saying it's not even Yerushalayim. It's to the Beis Hamikdash. It's a good point. It's a few more miles. Now, Rabbi Side, real quickly, we're talking about distance here. We're talking about miles. So I must mention this. Although we mentioned it, it's very, very famous. But it's kedai. It's kedai, Rabbi Side. A lot of people say to themselves that certain things are beyond their reach. Here we go. Beyond the reach. I can't learn, or a guy could say to himself, I can't give a shiur. It's too difficult. Too difficult. A guy says, I can't lose weight. I was born with a certain disposition to food, whatever. I can't do it. I can't.
Exactly 22 kilometers from Modi'in to Harav.
Yeah. 22. Okay. So we can't pass this without saying this major idea that had an effect on my life. So I want to share with you. The famous thing that for a long, long time, maybe 100 years, people knew that you cannot run a mile in less than 4 minutes. It was impossible. They tried millions of times. From the 1800s all the way to May 6th, I think it was, 1954, when Roger Bannister broke it. Everybody said it's impossible. And he did it. But what's amazing is that only 46 days later, a second person broke it. So what's pshat? What, they started taking steroids? And what's more amazing is that exactly a year after Roger Bannister did it, 3 people did it in 1 day. And since then, over 1,000 people have done it. Nothing changed. Humans are the same. Humans, they can run the same thing. Because it's all in here. It's mamish all in here. So when a person realizes that he could break different barriers, and there's no, it's the I could do attitude. I could do anything. You give me something and I'll do it. I could do it. I could lose the weight. I could learn shas. I could do the daf. Well, I can. It's not for me. The daf is not for me. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the background. You could do it. That's it. Here. It's mamish mefurish in the Gemara, no? Millen. It said mil. I don't know. I got to it. So it's distance and miles. I had to say it. Okay, fine. It's very, very important to decide. All right. Zog the Gemara weiter. You know what? When I was thinking about this morning, I was going to look at you and go, not you, did you? The good ones aren't it? How much could a person walk in 1 day? 10 parsa. Each parsa is 4 mil. You have a total of 40 mil. So we're dealing with 40 mil here. A person can walk from dawn until sunrise, 5 mil. And from Shkia until the the stars come out, 5 mil. So what do you have left? 40 minus 10, very good, 25. So you have 30 left. 15 from the morning till noon, and 15 from noon till the evening. We have like this. So therefore, he says like this. If you cannot get there from Modi'in is 15 mil out. So if you can't get there, you cannot reach the Beis HaMikdash during the Shechita period. When's the Shechita period? From Chatzos, we take it literal, from the D'oraisa part. Not like we do today because we have to do the Talmud or whatever. So we do it a half hour later, we discuss this. But it's from Chatzos, exactly Chatzos till Shkia. That's the distance. If you can't reach there to do the Shechita, then you do it by Pesach Sheni, and that's 15 mil, the distance from Yerushalayim to Modi'in. Omar Mar. How do you know they can walk 5 mil from dawn till sunrise? That's by light. He went from K'maya Shachar Allah from dawn all the way till Hashem Yatza till sunrise. I measured it. That's 5 mil. Gufa. So we have a major machlokes here. What is the point of him not being there? Is it the shechita or is it the achila? Huge nafkamina. When do you eat korban pesach? All the way through the night. You're allowed to eat it in the night. So that gives you another 12 hours. Lididach kashya, or Rabbi Yehuda kashya. Lididach kashya. Should we just start the sugya tomorrow? We could read it and we could go over it tomorrow. Lididach kashya the armis kol shein yochel likonis b'shas shchita. That has to do with the shchita part and not the eating. But meisheretz then yochel likonis b'shas shchita. A person who is tamei right now. But tonight he'll be able to eat. What's important? That you could eat it. Not that you could be there by the shechita. It's the eating part. And you just told me that has to do with shechita, not eating. You hold that it's nothing to do with eating. You hold that it has to do with shechita, and because this meisheretz. where he's got to become completely tar. At night, it doesn't matter because right now he cannot do shchita. It has everything to do with shchita. So which one is it? Shchita or achila? Amalei loy lididi kasha, v'loy l'Rav Yehuda kasha. Lididi loy kasha derech chayka l'tahar. It says in the pasuk v'choda la'asois haPesach. La'asois means asiya, to do. What's to do? Shchita. Derech chayka l'tahar ve'ein derech chayka l'tamei. When it comes to tamei, it's all about him being able to eat. So therefore, if it has to do with eating, this guy that's tummy right now, yes, right now he can't do shechita, but he could eat it. Just wait a few hours, he'll be tired, he'll be able to eat it. It's all about eating, not about doing. The Rabbi Yehuda loikash daf tzadik dal Amud Aleph. Tmei sheretz rachmana da'achyei. There's a special passage that says no, you cannot bring for a tummy sheretz. D'chsev v'yish ki etam le'nefesh mila Askin shechas shvir shaloi loyes be'erev Pesach. Even though he'll be tired tonight, it says mufurish in the pasuk, don't bring it for him. That's the nafkamina. Have a wonderful day. Adonai shema b'koli nizar k'shuves d'kol Adonai. Tishmo yo Adonai miyamoy. Mishpachas l'chol l'manti borei. Nafshi l'Adonai, Mishmrim l'Boiker, Shemrim l'Boiker. Klein Yisroel Adonai, Kimadamei Chesed v'Abei Mefidus. Uvdei Yisroel Mikol Avinisav, Achinu Kol Yisroel, Nesunu B'Yisroel V'Shiv, Yoim D'Bein B'Yom, V'Bein B'Yabos, Amagim Arachim V'Yisim Tzum V'Rochim V'Feil, Mishmrim Gilad Shtob, Gizman Kivim V'Nimar Amen. No. Oh. You're on or not? Yeshua, you're on? Is Yeshua on? He's back on. Okay.
That's the story. This is from my father. Right after you said.
That's a good father. That's a good father. You are playing on your phone. Yakov, Boker Tov. What do you say? Who did? When? Why? I want him to be back. I want him to be back.
Ali is deciding the next 2-3 hours before having a meeting whether or not I can go to a house or
You guys will off the Kodesh.
Are you serious?
You're on Kodesh, you'll lock.
What's going to make them decide? What's going to have them decide?
Lock it up.
now, not for now, to have a meeting now.
Look, we got holes here. You got to be careful. It's from the screws. But
I have WhatsApp. I gave up. I became religious in America. I said no more WhatsApp.
so how can you text me that you landed? How do I know? What flight are you on? Mordechai, you know his information? Send me his information, please. Mordechai is your secretary. He'll, I know that's hard.
Me?
Are you kidding? If you
Mark Aschkenasy.
think about how much time the rest of us are now going to have.
It's a simcha g'dayla for all the Yidden in Klall Yisrael, including Barak Shechter. What did you say? Let's show me out. He's coming to my house, he hopes, to my upstairs. I have an upstairs house. I do. He's not going to stay by me. Mashu says Abaya Shelo. He officially is staying in my house.
Give a Shiur or Daf Yomi on the plane.
You know what the problem is? The problem is I forgot my tefillin at home. I'm walking here. I'm serious. I'm walking. I'm like, did I put on my? I know I'm missing something. I'm feeling like maybe I came without my pants. Yeah. Huh? I don't have my phone, and I didn't bring my. I did the phone on purpose, but I'll bring my tefillin. I have to run home and get my tefillin. Is it already 8 to 5? Yeah. Yeah. Hold on.
Are you ready now?
Yeah.
Check out the picture we have.
Look at Rabbi Yisroel.
Oh no. Hello, Rabbi Yisroel, we need a picture of you and that background that I can show it tomorrow. We'll make a ganze chayzik. You know what? I'll show it on Purim. That's already Purim stuff.
I'm printing a 20 by 30 of it on camera.
Wow, how did he get one of those? How did Rabbi Avram get one of those? It's the same. Where Shiur's at 7:15. 7:15 in the morning, Purim.
Yeah, check out Shabbos Daf Dalet.
What's Shabbos Daf Dalet?
Last year Purim was Shabbos Daf Dalet.
Really? Hey, Yeshua, what's going on? I love your mask under your nose. I'm sure the stewardess likes it too. You're the type of guy the stewardess has to come over 16 times during a flight. Sir, please put on a nose. And you're like, I'm used to it. Ma'am, I'm used to it from Eli Stefansky from America's Daf Yomi. As soon as she walks by, Yalla. Guys, I forgot my tefillin at home, so I have to run home, get my tefillin, come back to the Beis Medrash. We have a beautiful minyan now, Baruch Hashem. I'm going to run. Great day. Yishkoyach, Mark, for all you do. Yishkoyach for taking care of Yeshua in America. I got to run. Ooh, I'm looking forward. Andrew Glatz. I can't run to get my tefillin. I see Andrew Glatz. Wow. If you're on, Hamakom Yenachem Eschem. I can't do it to just a picture of a model. I have to look at your face. Okay, Zaygesam, guys.